Boxing Truth here. There's some news reports out there that a potential bout between Sergey Lipinets and Adrien Broner is being eyed for some time in March. Now, I forgot to mention Adrien Broner in the last video I did again about Sergey Lipinets in his title-winning victory over Kondo. I didn't mention Broner because I didn't expect Broner to take this type of fight coming off a one-sided L ass-whooping to Mikey Garcia. And I was also hearing that he was considering taking a comeback fight, tune-up fight, to get back in the winning column, rehabilitate himself, because that's what's really needed after the ass-whooping to Mikey Garcia, where he lost practically almost every round. Maybe won one round in that fight. Terrible showing, terrible performance. After talking all that shit, saying he was gonna fuck Mikey up, was actually still talking shit when Mikey was whipping his ass along the ropes. Terrible performance by Adrien Broner. But I was hearing he was gonna perhaps fight Omar Figueroa, maybe cherry pick a 130-pounder and fight Fortuna. That's what I was expecting, that type of fight for Adrien Broner. But these reports by Boxing Scene had me pleasantly surprised, because Sergey Lipinets is going to hand Adrien Broner another one-sided L. A long stack of L's to the collection of Adrien Broner's career. Adrien Broner's career hasn't really panned out as it should, considering he's in the protection program with Haymon. But for some strange reason, Haymon doesn't protect him. Puts him in the lion's den on numerous occasions. Continues to let Broner take ass whoopings where he's not even performing that great in these fights. I mean, when was Adrien Broner's last great performance where he was like, wow, that was pretty good? It's been a long time. Maybe against Khabib Aglahardiev. Maybe that was his last decent performance. But his career has stagnated. He hasn't really looked good in a number of fights. And it showed in the Mikey Garcia fight, which is why he was dominated. You know, it's just Broner's just operating at a certain level. He hasn't really improved. He hasn't gotten better, and he's really digressed since his HBO days, where he was knocking out the opponents he was fighting. But I'm down for this fight, for Lipinets' first defense, if Adrien Broner is really considering taking it. They're talking about, you know, could he make the weight? He made the weight last time, so why not? Why can't he make the weight this time? But Lipinets is going to whoop Adrien Broner's ass. This is not a fight you take coming off an ass whooping, one-sided beatdown, and expect to just go in there and try to take a strap off a guy who really worked hard and had a real fight against Kondo in his last performance. Tough fight, but he was able to separate himself from Kondo and win the IBF strap. So Lipinets at an all-time confidence. His confidence at an all-time high, to where he's the better fighter. He's the undefeated guy. He's the confident guy. He's coming off a real fight that's only going to get him better. And now that he's world champion, he's only going to be 20% better because of that hardware around his waist. It's a decent first defense for Lipinets. It's a name on his resume. There's going to be some fuckboys, idiots that actually think Broner's going to be able to knock Lipinets out or get back in a winning column, make easy work of him. Keep thinking that. Keep having this false belief in Adrien Broner, because he's proven on a number of occasions that you can't just have faith in this guy. He's going to continue to talk shit. He's going to say he's going to fuck Lipinets up if this fight happens. But the exact opposite is going to happen in this fight. I'm telling you, AB, you need to think this over. You need to tread carefully if you're going to take this fight. Because if you do, Sergey Lipinets is going to fuck you up, AB. And he's going to send you into retirement. You may as well cherry pick Fortuna for your next fight. Fight a much smaller guy who's chinny with no defense. That would get you back in a winning column. Or perhaps fight Figueroa, who is inactive as hell, having shitty performances, getting marked up by DeMarco at a much higher weight and is having weight problems because, for whatever reason, he has no momentum, inactive as hell, that's a much better fight for you. But to fight an undefeated guy with skills, power in both hands, good speed, can fight, and coming off a hard fight that's only going to make him better as world champion, as a defending champion coming in, and you coming off a badass loss. That's just a recipe for disaster for this fight. Lipinets gonna whip your ass, and you know it. And the very few remaining Adrien Broner fanboys know it. So, you want to take this fight? Go ahead, I'm down. I don't mind seeing Lipinets whip your ass. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.